Hey guys, so I don't know where to start. It's been one of those days, just like yesterday. So on the screen, let's start there. On the screen, I have 4 files, you'll notice. Today's assignment, the Epic of Gilgamesh, a prose version, an introduction to a Stephen Mitchell product called Gilgamesh, and a discussion board. So taking this into by order, today's assignment is really basic. It's basically walking you through the 4 files. Okay, so the file labeled Gilgamesh Stephen Mitchell intro. I've highlighted some paragraphs specifically on pages 1 through 5 and pages 9 through 10. It will review and sum up some details that are important to know regarding Gilgamesh. So if there's any questions about that, just let me know. Secondly, point 2. Secondly, begin reading the full Epic of Gilgamesh, the prose version. If it's easier, just start on page 1 and repeat everything that's been already established. But if you want to pick up where we left off, you can start at page 2 at the bottom, the last paragraph. Okay, so this is a prose version. It'll read a lot quicker. It is not a direct translation. In other words, it's not word for word. It's a free translation, but it does follow the plot, has the same characters, has the same points to make. It's almost a literal translation. They just displayed it in prose. So we'll be working from that for the rest of the week. It'll be a lot simpler on you. So for today, at least read chapter 1. If you want to go ahead and read more, by all means do so. So for the rest of the week, depending on any questions you provide me, I'll be answering those in video format as we go along. And item 4 today is the video I'm making in reference to that. Okay, so back to the other files. So again, the Epic of Gilgamesh prose version, this is just a breakdown of the story in prose. And again, because it's not a direct translation, because it's not word for word, you won't have the fragmentations and the scraps of missing bits of the story. This translator filled in the gaps and promoted the plot line in a stronger fashion, sometimes adding material that's been established with other texts or other stories of Gilgamesh. Okay. Let's see. There we go. So again, this is the beginning, just like the verse version. It starts out with a narrator stating, "I will proclaim to the world the deeds of Gilgamesh." And then there's a list of the important details, the resume, let's say, of Gilgamesh himself. So do review the prologue and do complete chapter 1. But as I said, down on page 2, right here, she was not ashamed to take him. That's where you would begin reading. Now, there may be highlights in here. No, there are no highlights, so you're fine. If there's anything confusing you, again, just let me know. This is the prose version. There will be a test next Friday, not the 23rd, but the following Friday. There's a test over Gilgamesh. It'll be different than the test that we have here. Excuse me, the test we have in face-to-face. So it'll be online, of course. So we'll work through that when that time occurs next week. Now, as far as the Stephen Mitchell introduction, Stephen Mitchell wrote a compilation of English translations. He himself does not know how to read cuneiform, the original text that the epic was written in. So what he's done, he's taken, let's say, the top 5 translations that academically speaking or scholarly speaking, people have approved of. He's taken those 5 and condensed them down into one version. Now, this one version is more poetic. By title, Stephen Mitchell is known for his poetry as well as his conglomeration of work. So again, this is not a translation. It's basically a different way of looking at the text. So be that as it may, you're not going to be reading Stephen Mitchell's version. You're reading a prose version. Okay, so the reason I have the Epic of Gilgamesh here, the introduction, is so that you can see the perspective of Stephen Mitchell's approach. Okay. Now, I've just noticed this text here does not have the highlights I intended. So I will be adding that. If not, I'll be adding it after I finish this video. Okay. So you're only to read the pages I mentioned previously, which are pages 1 through 5, 9 to 10. Okay. And we'll go from there. So I'll remember to fix that. Let me leave myself a note. I'll fix that for later today. Okay. Finally, there's a discussion board. This is for you to express any questions that you get after reading chapter 1 of the Gilgamesh epic. Okay, so primarily, these are the things I want to be sure you understand. Do you understand the relationship between Shamhat and Enkidu? Do you understand the relationship between Gilgamesh, what he has with the goddess Ninsun? Do you understand the relationship between Gilgamesh and Enkidu, the 2 protagonist figures? And then I threw in a wild card. Is there anything else you need clarified? Okay. Again, you'll post your questions here, detailed as possible, and I'll answer them here. So that way I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. If I cannot answer it here in text, I'll respond to it in the video tomorrow afternoon when I put together the final the video for Wednesday. Okay? So the main goal, primary goal, read chapter 1. Keep track of any questions, post the questions here, and we'll see what develops. As always, as I've said before, be safe out there, and if there are any issues coming up, let me know as soon as you can. Okay? Take it easy.